Hello, Karen here, Merging Soul Tarot with your daily read. I've had a bit of a bizarre morning, and the cards and read I was going to do right as I was meditating just before I've changed the decks. Felt led to change them, so we'll have a look. We got the Earthcraft Oracle here. I was also having problems with the microphone, so apologies in advance if the sound's not good. Let's have a look, see what we got. Oh, sight of an owl. Whoa, look at that. Sight of an owl. Number 28. We're in the dark season in the northern hemisphere. Just entered Sagittarius. Oh, and by the way, Sagittarius readings for all signs are up. I'll put a link at the top. Yeah, we've entered this kind of the depths of darkness in the northern hemisphere. But this is kind of saying that you know, the owl spirit of owl is spotting something that's heading our way. So it's kind of asking you to pay attention to subtler, finer details. Yeah, owls have sharp eyesight, don't they? In the dark, incredible. And that ability to turn the head, 360 degrees to see from every angle. So I think this is about, helping us to see from every angle. A bit like that hangman, see from a different perspective. And the oracle talks about an important decision on the horizon. But to be aware that if it doesn't seem much, excuse me, when it arrives, know that it's going to have significant impact. Okay, so those little meetings we're going to have, activities we're going to do, places we're going to go, things that seem every day, take notice, because they may have more importance going ahead than you actually realise. So it's really a call for full awareness and a watching, of what decisions you're making. You may be challenged to make difficult decisions, but there's that sense of seeing that higher perspective of owl, that sharpness, yeah, and sort of understanding that, any choices that need to be made, if you have to let go of things, will be replaced with better. Okay, so the other oracle deck, no tarot today. I wanted to use Starman, but and it's a bit of an odd choice with this sight of the owl, but maybe this is why we're being called to, be really aware and make conscious decisions, knowing the details. We sometimes overlook details. I know I do. Details are very important, and sometimes it's the very subtle light things. There's something in the Bible that said God did not speak. God, Spirit did not speak in the thunderstorm and the whirlwind, but in a small, quiet voice. So there's that sense. I mean, these owls spot tiny little voles and mice in the dark. So, okay, humour. And so after all that about something's coming your way, there's a card saying to the laughing Buddha, look, focusing on the lighter side of life. Denial, acknowledging fear and replacing it with the insight of awareness, very much going with that sight of the owl. And our last one, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you think how things have been, you know, recently and over the last couple of years, we can really lose our sense of humour. Everything seems heavy, dense, difficult, challenging. But this sight of owl is talking about a challenge. But maybe it's that sense of, if we're more tuned into the subtle, we can have that humour, because we know within the subtle, spirit is going to alert us to what we need to be aware of, what conscious decisions we need to be. And, you know, the insight of that awareness to make conscious decisions, we need to not be in denial, yeah? And denial is about fear. We're often in self-denial about what's going on in us because it can seem heavy. But, I mean, humour, I find the more I find in me, and you think you're just going to sort one issue out, then there's another and another and another. And it does become quite funny. You think, oh my goodness, what, you know, what else is there? What sort of a person am I? You know, you get your kind of view of yourself obliterated when you open to that, and it does become funny. You know, we're peculiar. I think humans are really peculiar. Well, this human is. So, you know, humour, not laughing to ignore fear or deny the fear, but laughing in the face of that fear. I mean, the fear comes up, it's often our egoic mind to block us from seeing, having that sight, having that awareness. And this talks about awareness, you know. So maybe we should get lighter. We should get, you know, just see the lightness in life. Yeah, there's dark, but it's actually in that dark we find that light. You find, you know, a lot of the people who are really spiritually advanced, however you term that, have a wicked sense of humour, you know, because they see the inaneness of life and of how we are. So yeah, we don't need to be kind of weighed down by it, you know, if we're doing shadow work, if we're looking out at the world. There's a lot that's not funny, you know, that's the truth. But you can have, I mean, the greatest comedians are the ones who've been to their darkest side, you know. They know the darkness and they can draw that humour out. It is a way of lightening, bringing light into these dark aspects. I mean, we've had a big, you know, over the past decade where I think comedians are becoming afraid to be comedians because people get triggered and they get, you know, they get overly sensitive about the humour. But actually, humour is an incredible gift to be able to look at the darkest things in life with humour, to lighten it, to bring light. Yeah. And then we have that perseverance. So maybe we need to persevere with finding the humour in our in our personal inaneness and funniness and within, you know, the darkness that's going on around us. So yeah, perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So I think today, people, we need to have that, you know, that real kind of sight of the owl at the subtleties, you know. Don't be denying any of those subtleties that we don't like, but we can approach ourselves with humour. We don't have to take ourselves so seriously, you know. We are peculiar, funny creatures, you know. We just are. Yeah, we just are. And I'm not saying that if you're in the middle of, you know, some hideous situation. I'm talking more on the everyday, you know, where we're dealing with ourselves and other people. Um, if we can approach life with that humour, you know, have the perseverance to keep looking at that darkness, because we really shouldn't avert our eyes from it. We shouldn't pretend it's there and it's all love and light, because it isn't. And if we don't see that darkness, if we don't embrace that darkness, and darkness is not a bad thing, but we cannot find the light in it, we cannot penetrate that. So there we are. I'm going to pull us a starseed message. Yeah, that's very interesting. You know, in winter time, people often, and we've got holiday season coming up, I know. What's the date today? A couple of days. My American subscribers have got their Thanksgiving, is it, on the 25th? Tell me if I'm wrong. I thought it was. We don't celebrate that in UK, but, you know, we got the solstice and we got the Christmas holidays. You know, gee, do we need perseverance and humour and, you know, a cute sight during that time? Yeah, just develop that sense of humour. Maybe that's what the message is, you know, start laughing at life, you know, not taking it so seriously, but having that perseverance, really. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling a little bit, with this message. It's a bit odd. It's an odd old message. Okay, blue flame, connect to the blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Okay, blue flame, I look at that as communication, as, you know, like the blue throat chakra. So yeah, pure love, it says here. I might be wrong about the blue flame. I don't use these starseed cards very often because I'm not so much into that new age stuff. So yeah, but blue flame for me would denote communication, expression. So yeah, look at your expression towards yourself, look at the details, look at the nuances, look at the challenges you've got, look at all those things and try and tap into it with that humour. Look at it with love and a laugh in your heart, because I mean ultimately we're all loved immensely, you know. It's not as scary, you know, that denial. It's not as scary as we think it is. All right. Lots of love. Bye bye.